Today, Baba talks about practicing to be soul conscious because Baba says that sometimes children they belong to Baba but they do not change their devilish traits because the effort, the practice to be soul conscious is not there. And because you see, we come with devilish traits, don't we? Fighting, quarreling, sulking, or, causing chaos, or causing sorrow. All these traits are there when we come to Baba. Or even if these traits are not there, maybe the trait of taking sorrow, maybe the trait of being inconfident or not having faith in yourself, any kind of, both of these are ego. So ego has two faces. One, nobody is greater than me. And then second, I'm nothing. So I'm nothing and no one. So I'm the worst, or I'm the lowest, or I'm the most incapable, or I am the highest and the mightiest. All of these are ego. So we all have some kind of ego or the other. It is usually described as superiority complex and inferiority complex. And some people have superiority complex kind of ego, some have inferiority complex kind of ego, but I, the soul, have had a long journey of many births. And ever since we enter the copper age, we start, protecting our inner world with ego because there is not enough power in the soul. So the soul is wounded. And then how do you protect a wounded soul? With ego bandage. So this is how you keep doing it. And then when we come to Baba also, we have many kinds of devilish sanskars. And then Baba says that these devilish sanskars won't go away on their own. Just because we come to Baba, they won't go away. So, sometimes when we come to Baba for a good period of time, especially when you are not interacting with a lot of Brahmins, then your sanskars might not come into play. And then you feel that I have changed. But then slowly, gradually, those sanskars, those devilish sanskars that we have brought with ourselves, they start, raising their head. And then if you have not made the effort to be soul conscious, then these sanskars take over, and then Baba's children, because they have not worked on their devilish sanskars, they do the activities, very devilish activities of sulking and fighting and quarreling and defaming Baba, causing chaos in the center in which they receive sustenance. So, or causing sorrow to anyone by talking ill about somebody, or spreading lies about somebody. They do all kinds of things, and you can see all of it happening also. But this happens not because there is some problem with Baba's teachings, but because those teachings are not being followed. So Baba is teaching everything, but Baba has always clarified that I am Karan Karavanhar. I give you the directions about what to do, but you are the one who has to do it. And if you don't do it, then how can there be change? And then Baba says, of course, also there is another aspect to it, that a kingdom is being established. So, in the kingdom, there would be sweepers also, and those who will burn the dead bodies also. So, all kinds of, posts and positions and work would be there in the kingdom. So Baba tells us that, starting from the king and the queen to the subjects, to the wealthy subjects, to the, to the servants, to the cleaners, everybody would be there. Now Baba says that because that Rajdhani or that kingdom is being established, so in this, so you see all the Brahmins, right now we are all sitting together. Yes, but we are not the same. When we go to Satyug, we will be having different positions. And right now, you don't know who is who. So, right now, you cannot know that, everybody is wearing white clothes and a badge. So, you don't know who is who. But then, when you go to Satyug, they will not be all wearing the same thing or in the same position. So, right now, it's important to bear in mind that there will be some children who will not follow Baba's directions, and they will do these kinds of devilish activities also, because then they will take a very lowly position in Satyug and serve you. Is that good? It is good, right? So you need servants in Satyug, so they they are spoiling their own part, and then they will serve you in Satyug. They will wash your dishes, clean your floors, because they are doing all these devilish activities. So these devilish activities, they also happen by children. Now, Baba says that this happens because, you are not working on yourself, you are not making the effort to be soul conscious. And you see that I was just thinking about this soul consciousness in Amrit Vela today. And you see, you are a soul. Do you realize your power? You are a being of living light, and you are a living being, you are constantly emerging thoughts and feelings and vibrations, and you are sending it to the atmosphere and the universe. You are such a powerful, constant force. Do you realize that? So, you see, science these days, quantum physics, it tells you that a person's presence in a room changes the movement of atoms and other particles around it. It is called the observer effect. So if I am in a room and you are in a room, then the movement of the particles and atoms around me would be influenced by my presence. And you see, if you just think about it, science doesn't know what is it that influences, but they know that when a person is in a room, then that the atmosphere around them is affected by them. But they do not know how. But Baba tells us that you are the living, experiencing being sitting behind the eyes. You are the soul, and you are like this, this living energy, constantly radiating thoughts, feelings, vibrations into the atmosphere. Your attitude is setting the atmosphere, and if you are a powerful enough soul, then your range is very high. So you can even impact the whole universe through your presence. So Baba says, just become soul conscious that you are the one doing everything around you. Yesterday I was talking to a brother, and he's a sportsman. So he was telling me that when sometimes when he is playing his matches, at that time he feels a streak of frustration or fear, or his heart sinking or anxiety. And then he says that because I feel those things, so I'm not able to focus on my game sometimes. So I was telling him that, you see, you have to understand that you are not feeling this because of the game. You are feeling this because somewhere in your journey, maybe in this birth, maybe in the last births, you have created this sanskar of feeling anxious and fearful, and this is a sanskar you have created. And then you will think that it is happening because I'm losing the game. But if it was happening like that, then everybody who was losing the game would feel like that. But no, it's your own sanskar. So we don't understand that it is happening inside out. You think it's outside in. You think that the atmosphere is making you feel a certain way. The behaviors around you are making you feel a certain way. The situations are making you feel a certain way. But no, your thoughts and feelings, your vibrations are actually setting the atmosphere. And they are the ones attracting those behaviors and situations. Do you understand how 63 births of body consciousness we have just turned upside down? And now we everything that's true is not on our mind, and everything that's false is very deep into our programming. So you think that the atmosphere and the behaviors and the situations are affecting you, whereas it is the complete opposite. You are attracting the situations and behaviors, and you are setting the atmosphere through your being, through who you are, through the way you are vibrating, through your unique personal resonance that is so unique to you. So you are that soul, and when you're soul conscious, you know that I am the one doing everything. I am the one bringing about everything. I am the one setting the atmosphere. I am the one attracting everything. So when you are soul conscious, what do? You understand that right now I'm not setting the right atmosphere. Even you see your body is a product of your stage. If you are in complete peace and happiness, then your body will heal. Even if it is going through some illness, it will heal very fast. Or at least, you will be able to use your body purposefully despite the illness. But Baba says what happens is you are not soul conscious. You understand the knowledge of the soul, but you don't practice soul consciousness. So, and then the most important aspect of soul consciousness is your sense of worth. Because your sense of value or your sense of worth. So, because we have been conditioned to feel that my sense of worth or value depends on how other people treat me, or how other people, whether they respect me or disrespect me, or whether they talk to me kindly or nicely or badly. That is what determines my worth. But Baba tells us, no, you are a worthy soul, and you have to know that. And when you conduct yourself with dignity in every situation, by knowing who you are, then slowly, gradually, you will send out the message loud and clear about how you have to be treated. You cannot shout and scream and tell people that you be kind to me and be nice to me and treat me well. And I remember there was this one girl, and she was in a relationship with this brother, and he was always, shouting at her, and then she would say, be nice, be kind, and he would abuse her even more. And then I told her, you don't You cannot demand kindness and niceness and respect like this by begging for it. So, how will you? So, Baba says that sometimes children have these thoughts that I'm not being respected, or I'm not being loved, or nobody is showering love on me. And then this is body consciousness. Even when we come to Baba, then we will start feeling neglected or rejected or not loved or not attended or not acknowledged or not recognized. And these things happen because there is deep lack of self-worth, and this deep lack of self-worth is because of 63 births of body consciousness. And then Baba says, just like Baba tells us that you are a being of, conscient light, you are the one who is creating thoughts, feelings, vibrations. Similarly, Baba gives us the knowledge that you are very worthy. And Baba says you have to know your worth. Even if somebody doesn't take you seriously, it's okay. You don't have to feel insulted or violated or manipulated or played or anything. You have to know that that is their sanskar. But how I feel on the inside when these things happen is completely up to me. And you see, if somebody doesn't respect you and you feel disrespected, that means there is something within you that tells you that you are that person who can be disrespected. But if you know that you are God's child and you are respect worthy and you are worthy and you are valuable, whether somebody knows it or not or recognizes it or not, and it's okay, then you will continue to not feel disrespected when somebody does that to you. And only when you conduct yourself in dignity over long term, despite how other people treat you, you will be able to command that respect. So this is a very important, and you see, Baba tells us everything about being soul conscious, but because we don't practice, I have to go within and see who I am and pay attention to the worthy, to the powerful, to the to the creator soul that I am, to the one, to the very, what do you say, very instrument soul that I am. And I was just talking to somebody the other day, and they were telling me that somebody was disrespecting them, and so that person is in a high position in society. So they were sitting in their office, and then somebody was trying to manipulate them into getting a leave or something. So he said, I felt very disrespected. So he was asking me that, you people, sometimes people try to give lots of messages to you people also, then how do you deal with that situation? So I told him that no, we know that we don't expect anybody to understand who we are or acknowledge who we are. We make them understand through our own actions. I don't assume that if somebody is coming to me, they will be preconditioned to respect me. If I am assuming that, then I will be deceived by that expectation. But if I am not assuming that, and I know that they might think that I am nobody, and they might think that, they can think anything about me, and that's okay. And then when they interact with me, they will see who I am through my own, actions and my behavior and everything. And then I will claim that respect, not because of the seat I'm sitting on, or not because of the role that I have been given, not because of any of those external factors, but I know that I have to command respect through being who I really am. And I will tell you one incident, and it was a very so I don't know, I've never shared it in class, but I will still share it today. So, there was this one Mata, and she used to come to the center, and many years back, and it was Raksha Bandhan time. And this Mata came to the center, and she's a very sweet lady. And she came to the center and she said, Didi, tie me Rakhi. So I said, okay. And then suddenly she said, my husband is waiting downstairs. So, so I said, okay, if he is waiting downstairs, you can call him also. So then she called him, and then the husband was a very wealthy person, and he thought very lowly about BKs. And when he came up, so he was so consumed by his own arrogance of wealth that, when I asked to tie him a rakhi, so he did that. But then he took out a 2000 rupee note and he threw it on the table, and then he said, this is what you call me for. And then so I said, yeah. So then there is a movie, many years back I had watched it, and in this say, I don't pick up the money that is thrown at me. So I said, haven't you watched that movie? We also don't pick up money that's thrown on us. And I was smiling, and I was talking like that. So he just realized that he had not done right. And then he said, no, you see, I did this because I was in such a mood, or whatever he explained. And then he said, it's okay. How you treat me is not my problem. It's your problem. And you deal with it. And if you come to the center, you will learn how to be respectful. But even if you don't learn, it's your loss, not mine. And then he just left. And from that day until today, whenever he meets me on the street, he would just, wherever whatever he would be doing, he would free himself, come and talk to me respectfully. So you see, this is why, you don't have to feel what, even if somebody is misbehaving, or even if somebody is not giving you the right treatment, you have to be in self-honor. But you will have that only when you practice being soul conscious. If you don't practice being soul conscious, then you will come into many kinds of feelings of, this one said this and that one said that, and I was not treated like this, and I was not made to sit there, and I was not given this respect and that respect. So Baba says, just know that you are a soul, you are worthy, you are peaceful, you are loveful, but you also know you are not in your best condition right now. Yes, you are not in your best condition right now, but you are in your best time right now, because you are with Baba. And because you are with Baba, so you are, and if you have constant yoga with Baba, then Baba will purify you. And when you're soul conscious, you have a lot of attention, because you realize that my only power is my spiritual power. And right now I am depleted, and Baba is the powerhouse. So my only attention and love and relationship is with Baba. Because that Baba is the one who is going to fill me with all that I have lost in the journey. And when you're with Baba, then you keep constantly drawing the peace and the love very actively, very consciously. You keep drawing the love, the light, the peace, the purity into yourself. And when you keep doing that, then you start raising your resonance, and everything around you starts working right. So how you will be treated by matter, how you will be treated by souls, it all depends on, not how you react to it. Sometimes people think that if I'm mistreated, I will react very badly, and then, I will be treated right. No. If you are mistreated and you react, you will be mistreated even more in the future, because you're creating that karma. You're spoiling your own karma. So Baba says, don't go into these fighting, quarreling, sulking, complaining, or causing chaos. These kinds of things will not help you get where what you want. You get what you want when you are deserving of what you want. And in order to change yourself into that deserving entity, pay attention to being soul conscious and remembering Baba. And when you remember Baba and fill yourself with the virtues and powers that Baba is the powerhouse of, because you see, yoga is such a beautiful and such a powerful practice that you slowly, gradually, you change into someone who is like the one who you have yoga with. So Baba is the ocean of virtues, ocean of knowledge, ocean of power, and the more you have constant yoga with Baba, Baba will color you in his company and you will resonate and vibrate at a different frequency. And then everything around you will also start following your vibration, and they will also start coming into alignment with you. So this is why Baba says practice being soul conscious. And then second thing Baba says today is, if you ask for forgiveness, you can't have forgiveness. So you make a mistake, and then when you are in sane mind, then you feel guilty and you feel sorry, and then you ask for forgiveness to Baba. But Baba says, I cannot forgive you. You have to forgive yourself. So if you are the same person, you will make the same mistake again. If you don't change, your mistakes cannot change, can they? See, and you see, we have seen a very beautiful example in our childhood. Have you seen sometimes when you are solving a maths problem, then you arrive at a wrong answer. And then you go through the problem 25 times, and then you are arriving at the same wrong answer. And then you are not able to check where is this mistake being made? Where am I going wrong? And then somebody else comes and then they point out, you're making a mistake here in the third step or the fourth step. And then you wonder, why was I not able to see it? Whereas I went through the whole problem 25 times. Because when your consciousness is the same, your vision is the same, and then your mistake will be the same. What you overlooked in the first instance, you will overlook in the 25th instance also. So how will you change your mistakes? Only when you change yourself. And how do you change yourself? By having yoga with the one who is higher than yourself. That's why, it's so important to understand Baba, because the belief system that I am a soul and I am the ultimate. So, people say soul is God. But if soul is God and the soul is so limited, then how can the soul rise above itself? Not possible. So that is why soul is not God. The soul is an entity that comes into the cycle of birth and death and loses its power. And God is God. God is the powerhouse. And then if I have yoga with the one who is high and mighty and the one who is full, then I will uplift myself from my present condition. And this is the only method. And Baba says, I cannot forgive you, because if you are the same, your mistakes will be the same. And the law of karma says that what you do, you will have to reap. And I cannot free you from that. So what you have to do is, if you want forgiveness, remember me. Stay in my remembrance. You want forgiveness, you remember me. Because when you remember me, you change yourself. And when you change yourself, then you do better and then you get better. So this is also one law that Baba tells us. And there is no point telling, I'm sorry to people, or I'm sorry to Baba. So, people say that the only form of sorry is change. But we also have to understand, no, the only form of sorry is not change. The only form of sorry is taking the step to change, taking the step for the process of change. Because you cannot change by thinking or deciding or being determined that I want to change. You will change by adopting the process to change, and the process to change is remember Baba. So Baba says, you want forgiveness, you remember Baba. Remembering Baba is forgiving yourself. Remembering Baba will ensure that you are not the same person, you will not make the same mistake, and then you will not reap the fruits of that mistake that you made. So this is forgiveness. And so forgiveness is remembering Baba. And then Baba talks about health, and Baba talks about food and drink. And Baba today says that, you see, Baba never tells us to ignore food or to neglect food. And Baba says you must take care of your body. And Baba never says that do seva and not forget to eat and forget to take care of your food and drink. Baba never says that. So Baba says if you fall ill, then you will do less seva, right? So don't do seva by ignoring your food and drink, because that same seva will suffer if you don't take care of your health. And Baba always says that, just like there is the knowledge of everything, there is the knowledge of also how to take care of your body. And taking care of your body, giving it the right amount of food and drink for it to survive and, nourish and flourish and also get used in seva, that is also an art that you will master if you're very soul conscious. And if you're body conscious, sometimes you will eat too much and sometimes you will neglect food. And most people, they show their anger by not eating. They show their, their state of mind gets reflected in the food. And if they are frustrated, if they are disheartened, if they are in arrogance, if they are in anger, the first thing they will do is, just neglect food. Because you don't understand that you have food on your plate because of your fortune, not because somebody gave it to you. So if somebody says, I feed you, then they will stop eating that food because they think that they fed them. So if somebody tells you, I feed you, then you tell them, no, my fortune feeds me, and you eat your meal properly. You don't fall into these things. This is all body consciousness. You must know that whatever you have, wherever you are, you belong to that and it belongs to you. And however much anybody tells you it's not like that, you have to dismiss that. And then sometimes, in the name of seva, I'm busy. If you're neglecting food, that's also not a good idea, because Baba says, then you fall ill. Then what is the point? But then Baba says, don't neglect food, but don't be greedy also. Let your meals be light, because if you eat too much, then you will doze off. And I will tell you one thing from my experience. If you eat early dinner, like if you have dinner by 6 in the evening, then you will be able to have very good Amrit Vela. But if you have late dinner and heavy dinner, if you have light dinner and early dinner, then you will have very good Amrit Vela. But if you have late dinner and heavy dinner, then it will cause a lot of obstacle in your Amrit Vela. So food has a lot of relationship with sleep. So if you're too sleepy, then your food is not right. And Baba says, also, how do you get over this desire to eat too much? By filling your heart with happiness in yoga. And it is said that there is no nourishment like happiness. So happiness is like food for the soul. And when the soul is full, then the body will eat as much as it requires. It will not eat more, because we eat more to fill the vacuum in the soul through the senses. But if the soul is full, then the senses will not need more than they actually need. And then Baba says, also pay attention that your food is constant. If you eat 2 rotis, you eat 2 rotis. Don't eat 3 rotis if the sabji is good and 1 roti if you don't like the sabji. So Baba says your food should be constant, because that is how you understand that you are not deriving happiness out of food. Happiness you are deriving from Baba, and food is just for the body. Okay, Om Shanti.